everyone, it's Froggy and Happy New Year! We are now in 2024 and my goodness, what a wild ride 2023 has been. There was a lot of changes in the channel, a lot of changes in my life. I'm a mom now, that's a whole thing. I can't believe it, So let's do a recap. Because we are here with some Froggy favorites. Now, of course, as everybody would know, unless you're new tuning into the channel, in that case, hello. But I have dialed back the amount of videos that I've been putting out in my upload schedule, because I have a baby and that is very time consuming. So I didn't get through as much this year as I would have liked, but all in all, I think we got some good stuff out and I'm excited to review. So why don't we go ahead and get started with our favorites? And I did add some new categories into the mix, and do also feel free to play along. I would love to know your answers in the comments below, so go ahead and write out all of your favorites as well.
Froggy's favorite manga.
I have read a lot of manga this year, as I usually do because I love manga. And the one that I really loved that came out, I don't know if it's actually came out this year, but I only found it this year, but it's called The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity. Sorry, I had to write it down. A lot of these have weird names, but it's a really, really lovely story so far. It doesn't have a whole lot of chapters out as of yet, but it's really, really great. So basically the gist of it is there's two schools that are side by side to each other. There is a all-boys school for delinquents, and then there is an all-girls school for the hoity-toity, super smart girls, and they hate each other. And the main reason why they hate each other is because it seems like the teachers at the all-girls school are talking about how bad the boys are at the boys' school, so the girls hate the boys, and because they keep being snooty to the boys don't like the girls for that reason. But out of all of it, there is the main character, which is a delinquent boy who's really tall and has a bit of a scary face, as they usually do, who works at a bakery. It's his parents' bakery and everything. And he ends up meeting a girl from this girl's school, and they end up having a friendship that eventually evolves into something a little bit more, and it takes a while, but eventually they start co-mingling with one another, and honestly the story is just really great. The characters are really, really great, and it's definitely one of those types that's up my alley, where it's just the super pretty girl who falls in love with a boy with a scary face who actually has a really soft side and is just super sweet and isn't delinquent, So I highly recommend going and giving it a read.
Froggy's favorite anime.
So, I don't watch a lot of anime, but I did watch a few different series here and there, and my favorite one so far this year was called the Oku, The Inner Chambers, which was on Netflix. I'm not sure if it's a true anime, if it was created in Japan, but it's about Japan. So it's essentially just long time ago. Can't remember what the year is, but all of the men started dying out and there was very few men left, and it was kind of an exploration in what if women ruled Japan and were the main the main gender. So they ran everything, they were the ones that ran all of the shops, they were the ones that ruled the country essentially, and then the men that were left were treated as the women would have been. So it's definitely an interesting one. It's definitely a good flip. I don't know, it's a little, but you gotta remember it's all set in a much different time, so it's one of those things where it's just if that sort of thing isn't your cup of tea, maybe don't give it a watch. But for me, it was really interesting.
Froggy's favorite movie.
So I have seen a lot of movies this year, and a lot of really fantastic movies came out this year. So of all of the movies that I've seen this year, and like I said, it was quite a few, there's two that really resonated with me. I loved these two movies, and I'm sure you guys can guess what they are. Obviously, it's going to be the Mario movie and the Barbie movie. Both of them were fantastic for different reasons. The Mario movie was just... it was a lot of my... well, both of them, I guess, in their own way, was a lot of my childhood, because I played Mario games since I was a very little girl, and then I played with Barbies, again, since I was a very little girl. So it was really interesting to see all of that. The Mario movie was bright and colorful and fun, and the voice acting was pretty alright. You know, Bowser was, you know, top tier. Gotta love Jack Black. And of course the Peaches song was really popular. And then for Barbie, it was really interesting to watch, because you get to see what it would be like if there was a Barbie world, and then how sad it is for the men and everything, like all the Kens. But then like also the mother character, she was really interesting, because like a lot of what she said was true about the way that, you know, women are expected to be, and the way that she looked at Barbie was really interesting as well, because she's, I think, a little bit older than I am, but you know, we had a very similar experience with Barbie growing up, so it was really interesting to see a similar perspective to what I had in the movie. But the whole thing was really interesting, and the jokes, oh man, the jokes were top tier. Even Fuzz was laughing his butt off because they were so good. It was a lot of unexpected, and that was really great.
Froggy's favorite game.
So I think this is a new category for this year, but it's my favorite non-visual novel related game of the year. It is a game that I haven't actually played on my channel, but I do plan to have some of its content on my channel eventually, and the game is Fire Emblem Engage. So that came out in January, so almost a year ago at this point now, but honestly, it was really good. I'm still playing it and trying to get all of the character interactions, just because I love that kind of stuff. It was a great game to play towards the end of my pregnancy, and then just after my daughter was born, during the down periods when she was sleeping and I needed to just relax. That was a great game to play for that. So honestly, the game is really fun for me. The storyline is pretty alright. It's interesting getting to see all of these different characters that were in all of the previous games. That's a lot of fun. The newer characters are okay. There's a couple of things that I don't like, but there's a lot of things that I really do like. So it's a lot of fun anyways, and it's a great way to just kill some time. But you guys know me. I love the storylines and everything, and that part has been fun. The one major flaw that I have, the major gripe that I have with it, is the fact that I can't play matchmaker and then get different characters to get together. That part really bums me out. It was something that I really enjoyed in the previous games. That isn't exactly in this one. It's just getting to see budding different friendships, but I do like that in one save file you could get all of the character interactions, so that way you don't have to continuously play it over and over again just to see all of the different types of character interactions. The only thing that you have to really replay is the ending scene over and over again if you want to get all of the different ending scenes and the ring scenes with the main character and all of the different characters, but you can get with all of the characters, and that's really great. There's no like gender lock or anything like that, so I do really appreciate that.
Froggy's favorite baby item.
So this is another new category, because obviously I didn't have a baby before. But I have purchased a lot of baby items this year, and I really wanted to talk about them just in case there are other parents who are watching this, who are interested in that kind of thing. But my favorite item that I purchased this year for my daughter is the Exercaucer from Evenflow. Yeah, Evenflow. Sorry, I had to write it down. So it has been super, super helpful. You can start putting your baby in it from the time that they can sit up themselves, and they can use their own back muscles to sit up. And then it grows with them. So there's 3 different levels to it that you can put onto it, so that way the baby is still dangling, but they can still bounce and use their legs a little bit, and they can push off the platform on the bottom with their toes. And there's a bunch of different toys that comes with it, and then you can attach other toys to it, and you can remove some of the toys, and whatever your child is interested in. The only major downside to it is that the suction cups are not super great, so it's hard to get them to stick on and stay on. Some of them we got, and they haven't moved since we put them on, but some of them continuously fall off. So that part kind of sucks. But, and cleaning it is really difficult, because if there's crumbs or dirt that gets in between the seat and the springy part, getting in there to clean it is just impossible. But another thing that I really like about it is the fact that, like I said, it grows with your child. And once your child doesn't need to sit in this kind of a seat anymore, you can take the center part out, and then you can pop the bottom centerpiece in. There's like a little green center circle in the platform at the bottom. You can take that out and then turn it upside down and put it into the center of the top of the table to replace where the seat was, and it becomes like a little like cup holder thing. Not cup holder, but it's a little like holder with a bowl in the center that you can put like pencils and stuff into, and it just turns into like a toddler table, so that way they can stand up at it and draw and do whatever they want. So it's a nice little activity table afterwards that you can continue using until the child is, too old for that. So like you get a good few years out of it anyways, which is really, really nice. But yeah, I really like that, and it's a great way to entertain your child in a place where they can't move around. So that way, if you need to work on something else, you can, and the baby's not just gonna disappear or something.
Froggy's favorite 2023 route.
So we're finally getting into the nitty-gritty about this channel and all of the stuff that happened throughout the year. So, our favorite 2023 route. For me, personally, and I have completed quite a few routes throughout the year, which is really great. I haven't completed a lot of games, but I have routes. So my favorite route so far this year was actually John from Backstage Pass. He was a surprise contender. He didn't seem initially like he was going to be my type, but as you get through the route, I don't know, there's just something about him that completely pulls me in, and I'm like, yes, please. He's good. Definitely my favorite route. Although I will say a close second was Artemis from Women of Zal. I really actually enjoyed him. He was super interesting, and the fact that he had his own set of powers was really, really cool. And, just the fact that he's trying to, I guess, fight back in his own way was really, really interesting. I don't know. I really liked him. He was a lot of fun.
Froggy's favorite otome.
So my favorite otome for 2023, I've only completed 2 games this year, which was Backstage Pass and Women of Zal. Although I didn't technically fully complete it, I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to be getting back to the game, and I don't think even if I were to get back to the game that I'd go through every single route, just because there's a lot going on there. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm counting it as complete, because we did get to meet pretty much all of the characters, and we got a lot of different stuff for each one. So I'm counting it as complete. And then the other one, like I said, was Backstage Pass. And I mean, that was a great game in and of itself. But I think my favorite one was actually Women of Zal, just because of all of the different characters that you could meet, and the story was really, really interesting. And I don't usually go for the types of games that don't have like the voiced characters, just because it's very difficult for me to be able to do all of those, especially with the amount of characters and content that was in this game. And there was a couple of things where, you know, it was like, but all in all, I did really enjoy the game. I found it very, very interesting, and I'm excited for the second one to come out. The only reason why it's winning over Backstage Pass, which is a more traditional anime game, is just because the storyline is good, but it's just a little bit basic compared to the fantasy that is Women of Zal. That's really my only thing. I mean, otherwise, like, it's still a really great otome game. Highly recommend playing it yourself. But yeah, that's my main thing. I just like that Women of Zal was just something different that I haven't really encountered before, so it just makes it all the more interesting to me.
Froggy's favorite female route.
Okay, so as far as female routes go, usually I'm because there's not that many female routes in the otome games that I play. I basically just go through all of the different female routes that I've played. And usually, Joan is my number one choice because she is just super duper cute. Joan from C14 Dating, that is. But this year, I actually preferred the girls' party route from Amnesia Later. Because, I mean, well, one, you get 3 girls, so we get Sawa, Mine, and Rika, which is really awesome. So you get to kind of explore the relationships with them a little bit, you get some information out of them, and then you get to have them all together and see how they interact in different settings, which is really, really fun. And of course, Sawa is my best girl. We do love Sawa. And Rika was honestly, like, she redeemed herself, I find, in her side of the girls' party. Yeah, I don't know, like, we actually got to talk, and she apologized, and it was really nice. And I always thought that she was super gorgeous. I mean, let's be real, her costumes are top notch. It's good. And then of course there's Mine. She's alright. But yeah, so I think I would have to say the girls' party route is my favorite girls' route because we got 3 in 1, which is really great.
Froggy's favorite side character.
So, my favorite side character, again, it's gonna end up being a 2-way tie between Vanderwood and Orion, same as last year. No changes there. I haven't seen any other side characters that I like more that I haven't gotten to explore like a full route with yet. Of course, in Amnesia Later, there is going to be an Orion route, so at that point, when he does finally get his route, he will no longer be a side character, so I can't really count him in that. I mean, I guess I can technically count him in that because of Amnesia Memories. He doesn't have his own route, but for me, it's just an extension on the original game, so I kind of just... it's all the same to me. But until I play that, he's still a side character to me, so that's why he's here. But yeah, I mean, as I explained in the last Froggy Favorites, Vanderwood is a fantastic side character. He's really, really fun, and, well, it's the interactions between him and 707 to me are really, really fun because he's basically just babysitting a man-child. And that's hilarious to me. And he's also somebody that I really, really, really wish had a route, but doesn't. And it's unfortunate. And then there's Orion, who is just really cute and really sweet, and I love his character design, and I do like him in Amnesia Later. You know, we get a little bit more from him, which is always nice, but I am excited for his route, so that'll be a lot of fun.
Froggy's favorite heroine.
So, my favorite heroine, I always choose the heroine that is the least dull, and to me that is still Melissa from C14 Dating. Again, she is, you know, a go-getter. She has hobbies, she has a personality, and that's great. She's not just a go-with-the-flow, simping over the men type of character, which is what I like. But I actually also really, really like the main character from Amnesia, Memories, and Later. And not as much her in Memories because it's not really her. But in Later, we actually get a lot more of her personality, and we see that, you know, she's trying to, you know, make her way in the world and live a life, you know, with little contact with her family. And in Kent's route, she actually, like, this is a spoiler, but she actually goes to, I think it's London? I think it's London. Either way, she goes to a completely different country with Kent, which is really, really fantastic. And she's doing it for her own education. You see that she's really, like, dove headfirst into her education during Kent's route, and I love that for her. And I love how ballsy she is in Icky's route, and how, I don't know, she's kind of almost motherly, but, like, still, like, the sweet girlfriend in Shin's route, I guess. And then, you know, it's fun to see her interacting with the girls in Girls' Party. So, like, I actually really like her in Amnesia Later. Not as much in Memories, but in Later, she's up there for me in that one. So she's like a really close second. So I really just wanted to shed some light on it so I'm not just, you know, gushing over Melissa again. Okay. This is where we finally get into it, and I'm really, really excited. So we're going to go through our top 5, and this is something that I really want to know from you guys as well. Who are your top 5 of all of the Otome games and routes that we have completed throughout the entirety of this channel? So I don't just do from 2023 for this one, it is of all time from this channel. So we are going to go ahead and get into that. So
Number 5.
So number 5 is actually Kyler from C14 Dating. He has moved down a slot, taking over the place of where Satoru was last year. Unfortunately, of course, Bad Apple Wars characters are no longer able to be in these Froggy favorites just because I am not able to play those games on my channel anymore, and I am very sad about it. But Kyler has moved down a spot from number 4 to number 5. Again, I really love him. He is just the cutest thing. Because he gets just so angry and blushy, and I love those kinds of characters who are just so... I don't know, I like me a good tsundere. And he's a great one, and it's great to watch him, like, open up more and become more personable towards Melissa, and again, towards everybody else as well. He starts to open up a little bit more, and it's really fantastic to see. So I just really love the character growth from him.
Number 4.
So number 4 actually is John from Backstage Pass. He was my favorite route of 2023, and he is definitely one of my top favorite characters. He is very good looking and very... oh man, he likes to toy with you, and he's also another one of those standoffish type of characters that you've got to get to know, and he eventually slowly warms up to you, and I really just love that. But yeah, no, he is so handsome, like, oh my goodness. For a 2D character. He's good. He's good.
Number 3.
We are in our top 3. And of course, number 3 has to go to my boy Jian. Of course. I still love this boy. He is just the sweetest thing. And I do feel like I need to state that it's not like a romantic thing for me. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, you know. He's just really cute, and I really love his route and seeing just how much he grows and becomes his own person as he grows into adulthood. Now, adult Jian, okay, that's a different story. That I could get a little more romantic with, but when we are, you know, going through his route when he's young, and under 18, for that one, he's just cute, and I just want to give him a big hug. and give him apples. So many apples. But yeah, I really just love his character, and I love how much he grows, and it's just great.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Saren, or Unknown, from Mystic Messenger. I can't not have him as my number 2. I still haven't found anyone else that could take that spot. He's just... I love him as Ray. He's messed up as Unknown, but I kinda dig it. And of course, actual Saren, when we finally get to see Unknown and Ray converging into the beautiful boy that is Saren, and everything that has happened to him, and just him finally just trying to be a real person. I absolutely love that. He deserves all of the goodness in the world and just a good life, because he had a terrible, terrible life, and I just want to give him a big hug, you know? Tell him everything is gonna be okay. Yeah.
Number 1.
My personal husbando. It's 707, or Sejong. I love him so much. Still can't find anybody that's gonna top him in those calls where he just, especially that one call where he tells me that he loves me. I can't. He's got the red hair and the glasses. The look is just perfect. And of course, again, he goes from the happy-go-lucky type that I'm not normally a fan of, but still loved from him for some reason, into the get away from me tsundere type, where he's just got mad depression and wants nothing to do with me, and then eventually starts showing his true colors and really, you know, getting closer to the main character. And I love him so much. It is going to take so much for anyone else to top him. But I mean, you know, it's not impossible, because I didn't think anyone was ever going to top Jian. And here we are. Yeah. But anyways, so that's my top 5. And that is my favorites for 2023. And I really am excited to hear about what your guys' favorites are. So please, again, don't forget to let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys were playing along. But I do hope that you guys have a wonderful 2024. For my new subscribers, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope that you continue to stick around and see what's coming up next for us here in our little happy pond. Yeah, I love you guys so much, and here's to another wonderful year.